On this episode of I Play With Knives, I review the Cold Steel Ti-Lite 6 clone from DHgate. And this is where I give a subscriber a shout out for their comments for the week. And this week goes out to Hungry Bird. Man, Hungry Bird, we've talked about a lot of different knives over the last couple weeks. Keep up the good work. And if you would like a subscriber shout out, go ahead and leave a good comment, subscribe, and then maybe I'll reply. Alright, up next, go ahead and bring up your DHgate app and search for Cold Steel Ti-Lite 6 or Titanium 6, or you know what I mean. You're going to get a bunch of options ranging from, I don't know, right around 20 bucks all the way up to about 35-ish. The one I picked up was about 25 bucks, and if you want the real thing, you can get it on Blade HQ for 54 bucks right now. 3 weeks of Chinese shipping later. Alright, to start this off, let's get into the vault of clones. And there's only one knife. My authentic Ti-Lite 4. Original. That I carried for about 6 years as an EDC. Alright, well, this one got opened up by my family, so here's the actual box. As you can see, the consistency of these boxes they're always beat up and they always look cheap. So these Cold Steel knockoffs, the packaging looks really thin. Real cheap cardboard on here, and as you can see it is gonna be something I throw away. There we go. But when you get into the actual guts of this thing, this is an awesome, massive knife. I've wanted this actually for years. I've tried to buy it a couple times over the last year and a half, and this is one of the fails that didn't show up. But when you look at this thing in comparison to the real one, it's pretty darn close. These knockoff Cold Steels are probably made backdoor in the same factory that they make the other ones, since the authentic ones are made overseas as well. Now you can notice this one here has the old style pattern. The new ones have the same pattern as the 4-inch down below. Let's go ahead and start our standard tests, starting with the weight test. And just as always, I have the specs for the real one on the side here. A real one comes in at 6.80 ounces. This one came in at 7.23. A little bit heavy on the clone. Alright, let's get into the measure test. The overall length of a real one is 13 inches with a blade length of 6 inches. Makes sense, Ti-Lite 6. And there you go. This one's accurate as well. Man, I just want to take a moment and say this is a cool little dagger. I mean, I don't know if I'll ever carry it. Maybe out camping or something, but this is a sharp little poker. And I don't really know what use it has other than poking things. Alright, up next is the sharpness test, where we take this severely recycled sharpness test piece of paper and we test how sharp these things are. Well, this one here, I hate to say, is really dull. I mean, it cuts kind of, but the side of this thing is not very sharp. It's really just pushing the paper around. As you can see here, this thing is dull. I mean, it's got a very minor edge to it. You can really force it through, but this thing is not a slicer knife. It is designed for one thing and one thing only. And that's a poker. Let's check the tip. And that is okay. It's not awesome, as you can see from these frayed edges, but it does the trick. Not very good. Alright, up next is my favorite test. the tip test, where I take this knife and I shove it into this board about 9 times, pull it out, and see what happens to the tip. And remember, safety first, even with a glove with a hole in it. Alright, let's see how it did. Man, these cold steel clones hold up well. I mean, it held its tip. Maybe there's just a little bit of bend in it, but not even hardly any to notice. I would give that a thumbs up on the tip test. Good job. So I would say overall, this knife is really just kind of nostalgia for me from carrying this 4-inch one. I mean, obviously you can see from the use on here that this has been well loved, let's say, maybe abused a little bit, and I don't know if I'm really gonna carry this 6-inch one because it's hard to carry, to be honest with you. It really is a deep pocket carry, if not the full thing. So overall, I would say it's a cool knife. I just don't know if I'm gonna really carry it that much. And here's what my daughter thinks of this knife. What do you think about that knife?
Good. I feel like I'm gonna hurt myself.
Do you even know how to open it?
Ooh.
It's
like an assassin knife. I'm sorry, it has like chicken
It's okay.
grease on it.
It's okay.
It's nice. This is like a dagger, like it's not a knife.
It's a what?
It's a dagger.
It's a dagger?
Yeah.
What do you do with that knife?
You stab things.
It's a stabber, right?
It is, yeah.
Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, do you like this knife?
Yeah. Perfectly balanced, as all things should
Are
be.
you doing Thanos?
Yeah. Perfectly balanced.